What's going on, YouTube? It's been a while. I ain't put out a video in a little bit. You know, it takes commitment to do these YouTube videos. And I pretty much suck at video editing. So it takes me an extremely large amount of time to edit videos, So it's a lot of time involved. Even a 30-minute interview with a recovering addict or whatnot. You see 30 minutes, it takes me like 8 hours. And you're still like, damn, it took you 8 hours to produce that 30-minute video? Yes, it did. Meaning like it wasn't like it was high quality or something, Brian. Anyway, I wanted to make this video right quick. Ain't gonna take long. I woke up on this beautiful Saturday morning, brewed me some coffee, coming up on 8 years clean. Anyway, I've been seeing this commercial running. I don't know if you've seen this yet. I'm sure you will, because the pain and misery of addicts is big business. This commercial running right now, this joint starts off by saying, do you or a loved one have moderate to severe opiate addiction? What the fuck is moderate opiate addiction? Just curious. I mean, where have we come so far in this country? Where are we at today with this? Where are we at with the opiate crisis? I mean, I thought they was going to be talking about like a rash on your motherfucking leg or something. Do you have moderate or severe arthritis? Something like that. I was just thinking to myself, man, everybody got their hands in the pot, don't they? See, there's this people are focusing in now on the disease of addiction, and boy, they putting money into it. Because guess what? They're pulling way more money out of it. The more we use, the more pain and misery we go through, the more money they make. So like I was saying, what the fuck is moderate opiate addiction? I mean, are you only taking 10 pers instead of 30? Are you only doing 2 bags of dope instead of a whole bundle? I know. Maybe you only smoke 1 rock today and not a whole 8 ball. Listen, man. I get it that people are out here dying at a phenomenal rate, right? I understand it. You got the friends and family of these people who are just killing themselves, and they're just trying to do anything they can, boy. They're willing to do whatever they can to pull their loved ones out of that addiction, right? And it has grown to a level where it is affecting, states and federal government now. Because the people are like, do something about it. And now, man, where there's money to be made, boy, people will jump in and make that money, right? I just wanted to say this. I myself am not a proponent of the whole methadone, Sublocade. Oh, by the way, that commercial for the whole that I was just saying that I seen about you have moderate, severe. That's for Sublocade. It's a Sublocade commercial. I'm not a proponent of those. What's called a drug replacement therapy. See, because to me, it's just another drug. A drug is a drug is a drug is a drug, right? I'm not here to get into that debate. That's a whole nother thing. I've kind of just, fell back on it. And I'm just kind of like, well, man, I mean, like, your recovery is your recovery, right? And, let's face it, a lot of these drug replacement therapies, it's become death prevention, We don't want you going out there using needles, spreading disease, and we don't want you to OD. Or they kind of sell it like that. Like, you don't want to OD, do you? Or you don't want your son or daughter to OD, do you? So you should pay all your money for this particular program we're offering because, boy, we're going to save them. Anyway, back to the moderate or severe. Let me just say this. If you woke up today and you told yourself, I'm not going to take these 2 Percocet. Let's just stay on the moderate side, right? I'm not going to take these 2 Percocet. And you decided to do it anyway. If you woke up this morning and you said, hey, you know what? I'm done with this dope. Not doing it anymore. But you still found yourself doing it. You have a severe opiate addiction. See, there is no moderate. Let me fix this camera right quick. I feel like I'm losing this over here. Fuck it. I'll just hold it. My shaky ass hands. The point I'm trying to make is whether you're doing 2 perks or 20, or 2 bags of dope instead of a bundle, or 1 rock instead of an 8-ball rock. The point is, if you find yourself doing that against your own will, in other words, you woke up this morning and you said, today's gonna be the day that I don't do that shit. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing it. But you still did it. Your addiction is severe. There is no moderate. See, there's no moderate. See, you are about to receive a severe ass whooping in life is what happens if you're doing those things. See, you will, see, you have to understand. When you're doing these things, you're seeking out a few things. There's only a few things you're seeking out. And that's a jail, an institution, or death. The graveyard. That's it. If you're doing drugs, shit, and alcohol is a drug, let's throw that in there. You find yourself through the day fucking knocking back a whole fucking quart, however the fuck they weigh Jim Beam or vodka, 5th of vodka. You find yourself knocking back a whole bunch of fucking alcohol every day, and then you wake up one day and go, I'm not drinking all that alcohol today. As a matter of fact, I'm not drinking none. And you still do it, you have a severe problem. See, the only thing moderate to severe about this is you may just be experiencing moderate consequences at the moment. But I promise you, they will turn into severe consequences. Let me remind you, jails, institutions, and death. Those are the consequences. the ultimate consequences to when we have an addiction. Now, the solution to that is in the eye of the beholder. I personally think that a 12-step recovery program is the only way. And I think a 12-step recovery program offers not only an addict or an alcoholic a new way of life, and it could offer anybody in the world a new way of life. You understand? Because the things you do in a 12-step recovery program, whatever one that is, whatever one you choose, there's a whole lot of A's. AA, NA, CA. Shit. There's a lot. But they all have what they call the 12 steps. And if you're watching this and you're going, well, that shit ain't for me, I just want to let you know what's in those steps. See, what's in those steps is an internal process where you're forced to look at yourself with honesty, with open-mindedness and willingness. Because that's the only way that you can kick an addiction. And I'm not saying to cure an addiction, because that's impossible too. If you have the disease of addiction, it cannot be cured. You know, maybe one day we'll be able to do some brain transplants or some shit. I don't know. But for right now, that ain't happening. Right? But tell me what that's not. Who would that not be good for? Admitting you have a problem with a certain thing. And that could be anything, to be honest with you. We'll just keep it on the drug. I'm just saying, it could be a person. It could be anything that's causing you crazy-ass issues. But let's just keep it on the drug. Who cannot benefit from admitting that you have an issue with it, understanding that you're powerless to stop doing it, right? So that must mean you need help, right? So if you're powerless, you have to find the power. You find the power within a group of individuals that are in your recovery process, right? Because within that, there's healing. Healing takes place at a group level, right? You need that empathy. You need to be able to relate to people, because a lot of people can't grasp the fact on how you can, I don't know, steal your grandmother's fucking old-ass wedding ring and then go sell it for a bunch of crack. Most people in the world look at you like you're fucking crazy. And guess what? They'd be right. So you need that. You need people trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. Right? Healing. That's where the healing happens. And then, you get to a point where you go in internally and you seek out, why is it that I use? Fuck, what is it I'm using? Why is it that I'm using it in the first place? And why do I seem to have these same behaviors even after I put the drug down for a little bit? You need to find that the fuck out. See, they can come up with all these motherfucking commercials they want. All these motherfucking different drugs you can take instead of doing heroin, crack, cocaine, and all that shit. But it won't work. The answer is inside of you. There used to be a show on the old TV back in the day. It was called The Sopranos. And the young boy, Tony's nephew, I forget his name. Anyway, there was a mobster named Tony in there, and his nephew, he said this because he was dealing with addiction problems in the show. And he came up with it. He came up with this line, and I'm sure he didn't make it up all himself, but he said, there is no chemical solution for a spiritual problem. Anyway, I don't know, man. I guess, with these commercials and the way society is trying to do something about this addiction, at least I guess it's kind of good, because at least we're recognizing that it's fucking off the chain now. We're over 120,000 overdose deaths a year in this fucking country alone. I mean, I get it, but it's like, I don't like the conning and the manipulating I'm seeing. people are getting rich off of us dying, or getting rich on us trying to achieve death. Just something to think about. Anyway, I'm done. See you later.